Shan, I've done that, and that has helped me eliminate certain women in my life for sure. That were just naturally argumentative, that naturally just had a problem with everything. And in the past, I'm just like, you know what, whatever you say, I don't really care. Okay, make you feel good. All right, now let's go to bed. Like I ain't trying to hear that shit right now.
But B Madden,
Just kinda
that's
feel it.
indicative.
But hold on, but I started doing that more often, just so I could see what I was dealing with. And then this isn't long relationship. This is like newer stuff. Just so you can see what you really have and see if it's really worth your time or not. Because you might be trying to eliminate some people already. So you're just trying to see, if they're already kind of shaky and they telling you what you didn't said and what you didn't did. Like, you know what? Actually, no, you're wrong. And I'm gonna tell you why. And I got receipts for that shit with your whole chest. And then if they can't deal with it or they crumble with it or whatever, then that ain't somebody that's for long term anyway. But if it's someone that's your wife or whatever, again, like Shan said, I echo, only focus on the important issues and pick and choose those battles. And when you stand on that,
I think also something
stand
else
on it.
that Shan mentioned that is extremely important, and I think it's important for being able to stand on your square. He said, knowing when you are wrong and admitting it. Because if you never admit when you're wrong, then how can she trust in the end when you're right? And I think that was very important that you told me that, because that makes sense. Because if we at a stalemate and I say no, I truly said that, but she goes to her Rolodex and remember times where we had this stalemate before, and I thought about it, I was like, no, you're right. You did say XYZ. Now when it comes back around, she's like, no, I got the type of man that knows when to admit that he's wrong. So she's more likely to understand and hear you. And it's something called being impeccable with your words.
No,
So,
that's dope. Let
Men,
me say this.
own your shit. All men
So
up here, own your shit.
that's definitely one facet of it. Like to the maturity argument I was making earlier, knowing when you're wrong is one part of it. And I think men, like what B Madden said he was going through, men are up against a lot because this has been nurtured into women throughout a lifetime now. 30 years and going, it's been nurtured into them that women cannot be wrong alone. And when a man is involved, they cannot be wrong without the opportunity to play the victim. A man can't be the victim and they be wrong. Those two things cannot happen in the modern woman's life. But
misery loves company, trigger.
Yeah. In addition to knowing when you're wrong, men actually have to be you have to be extremely rigid in a few ways. Don't apologize when you've done nothing wrong. That's how we add to this problem. And don't say sorry for how she responds to something. I notice a lot of dudes like, look, I'm sorry for how you took that. I didn't mean to upset. No. If you have stated something clearly, especially when as hard as it is for men to be vulnerable, when you do it, and you usually do it at her urging. Well, I just need you to open up to me, and then you do it. Do not apologize for how she took something when you weren't disrespectful or you stated it plainly. And I think we open up the floodgates for that when we're always apologizing when we've done nothing wrong, and we're apologizing for how she responds to shit. We open the floodgates for her to just switch the narrative up every single time. I think men need to fortify themselves and teach other men, like, listen, women need to learn. This is how you grow them up. They need to learn how to be wrong all by themselves. Men cannot escape being on trial in a situation. Everybody is in there to judge you. The same way we have to man up and sit in that situation and take it when we're wrong, we have to teach our women to do the same.
I want to get Marcus.
Sweeney.
Go ahead, Marcus.
Sweeney, I heard you say you recently read a book. Was it The Four Agreements?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a great book.
I'm in the process of reading it right now.
Book. He threw out that word.
I heard. Yeah, when he said, yeah, I'm like, oh, so I know what he been reading. Just for the people that don't know, the Four Agreements. It's one is be impeccable with your word. 2, it's don't take anything personal. 3, don't make assumptions, and 4, always do your best. The best 2 are they are great, but being impeccable with your word, trying to limit the usage of things you say that you actually do, will do, and won't do, and not take anything personal. Like part of when I talk about most people internal struggle manifested to external problem with you and with other people, it's because it's something they're internally dealing with. That reigns supreme. If you think about somebody that just won the lottery, right, and you bump into them and you knock everything out their hand, I bet you that person ain't mad because they're in a good space. They're like, all right, well, fuck it, everything failed. It is what it is. I mean, I don't care.
Accidents happen.
Accidents happen, but you catch that same person. And the rent due, they broke. Yeah, the rent due. They got fired from their job. They caught their woman cheating, and you don't hold the door for them long enough. That person might go off for a hinge and fuck around, be a school shooter, because that's what they going through. And when you look at people, it can grow your empathy for them too, because you'll look at them and you'll say, "All right, I've had down days before, so I get where you coming from. I understand why you so upset and why you so angry, because I've been in that space before." And try and figure out a way, because you can resolve almost any conflict if you realize that, look, I'm not your enemy, and you don't really see me as your enemy. You fighting something in your life, and you looking for some place to project all of this anger. And I'm not about to be that vessel. You're gonna have to find somebody else to unleash your wrath upon. I'm not playing these games. All right, well, have a good day. That's how you avoid a nigga moment.
JR, can I throw this out there real quick? I know you want to move on. Marcus Point on $1 million. Somebody that just hit the lottery. You knock in there, and they're walking through the grocery store. You knock shit out their hand. They're like, "Oh, accidents happen," because they ain't tripping. They got $1 million in the bank. Somebody that's broke just lost their job and accidentally lost the last wad of cash that they had. You bump into them, or you step on their foot. You fuck around getting a fight. Fellas, kings, double your income this year. If you double your income, however much money you made in 2023, I want you to make twice that in 2024 by any means necessary. Because the more you are financially sound, the happier you will treat other people. It's exactly what Marcus said. So if you made last year 50 grand, I need you to make 100 grand this year. Figure it out. Because if you got more money in the bank and all of your bills are paid and you ain't tripping on nothing getting cut off, and you have no problem going anywhere you want to go eat or buy anything that you want, you become a nicer, happier man. And you become more convicted in your relationship, the way Trigger Mike was talking about. You won't have a problem backing down or requiring to or fucking agreeing. You won't agree to disagree when you got money. Now I'm a money guy, so I like to talk about that. You will not agree to disagree when you solid financially. So being that today is the 9th day of the year, you guys have all of 2024 to double your money, and then you'll be that person that when somebody bumps into you and knocks shit on the floor, you're gonna be like, "Oh, it's all good. Accidents happen. I'll just go get it again."